We'll go for a draw after 90 minutes, but penalty shootout defeat here in the Bristol Street Motors to Walsall. How do you reflect on what you've seen tonight?
I think from our point of view, we can feel disappointed, a little bit frustrated with our own performance. I thought we over the course of the game, you would say we created absolutely enough to score 2 or 3 goals. But if you look at the kind of pattern of the game, we didn't really do enough in that first half to really impose ourselves. We made it a little bit too comfortable for Walsall to sit in that block and not feel threatened. And there's that balance between having patience, but we need to be a bit more forceful and a bit braver in the situations to really attack their back line a little bit more in that first hour, I would say. And then they obviously could score a goal, which if you can't quite find the breakthrough and you're going to have to wait till later on for it, you need to make sure that you don't concede any sloppy goals. And it's probably the worst goal, definitely the worst goal we've conceded this season, I would say, from an organisation point of view. Just one ball over the top and a cut back and finish, or a cross and finish. So that's something that's not right, and obviously we have to improve on that. And then it becomes a different type of game. So now you're chasing it 1-0 down, and I thought we handled that pretty well. We pushed on, and we could have scored a goal and could have had a few more, but it's a little bit too late at that point. And I think we'll have to reflect on that first hour of the game and what we did.
And when you come up against a side like Walsall, who are well organised, who are throwing bodies at the ball, what did you need to see more of from your side to break through that block?
I think in the last stages of the game, if the game had gone on a little bit more, we would have scored, because they were literally, almost throwing themselves in front of things, and we were nearly finding the corners, and balls were flashing across goal. But it was more in the first hour, I would say, we needed to be a little bit better. I think we need to work the ball a bit quicker if we're playing against a block. We need to understand that we need to move the ball fast to make the opponent run more, and then gaps will open up, and then try to look for our wingers a little bit quicker, get them into 1v1s, try to combine with them. So again, attacking their back line and playing at a higher tempo in possession, rather than slowly moving the ball around, and it becomes a little bit predictable and easy for them. So that's the thing we have to improve. At the end of the game, we were pushing on. We were trying to get crosses in the box for Juki, and obviously Jay was in there, but unfortunately it wasn't enough.
I know nobody wants to win more than you. Can tonight be a bit of a blessing with 2 weeks to go now until we're back in league action?
Yeah, I think I've said to the players that ultimately for us it needs to serve as a bit of a warning shot that if we're not on our game, that this can happen. And any defeat's painful. It doesn't matter what competition or what form it comes in. Obviously we drew the game, but it was the penalties shootout. But from our point of view, we want to win everything we go into. So we can learn our lessons from this. I think it's been a positive start to the season. It's now time for a little bit of a break, to make sure that we can reset mentally and physically for a big couple of months ahead.
To reflect on a positive, it is a goal from a set piece, and I know that's an area that you wanted to improve when you came to the football club. Yeah,
I think we've scored from one on the weekend, our winning goal, and then this one. And again, Clara involved in both, and that's good, because we need to. We're going to get a lot of corners, and we need to make sure that we're dangerous from them. So, set piece goal is good. Again, we defended our own box pretty well in terms of set pieces. So on that side of things, we've been pretty consistent. But it's just trying to improve other parts of our game now.
In terms of injury news, no Ethan Laird, Luke Harris as well missing. How are those two?
Yeah, so both of them have sort of knocks to the ankle. They look like they're going to be out for a little while, which is disappointing. They got obviously on the weekend 2 kind of incidents. Both had to come off with it, so they've had their scans and everything, and they'll be out for a little while now. So we've got a squad now that's going to have to kind of step up and in their place while they're gone, and that's why we've obviously got together a strong squad to make sure that we're covered in these situations. So we'll miss them both, but hopefully they can make a speedy recovery.
Back here in nearly a fortnight now, what do the next 2 weeks look like for you in terms of the work with the players and maybe a bit of rest and recovery as well?
Yeah, so we'll obviously have to review and analyse what went on tonight, make sure we train well, and then we'll have a few days again to reset mentally, physically, make sure that everyone's getting what they need to recover, and then it's a really big training week leading into the Wrexham game, and then obviously we have a few games in quick succession after that. So really excited for that game. Obviously tonight's disappointing in the end, but we'll take our learning points from it and move on.
Thanks as always, Gaffer.
Thank you. Cheers.